Today we're going to talk about working your first row of crochet and a couple different methods for working into your foundation chain. You'll see here that the bottom of each of these looks slightly different. This was the foundation row here, the foundation chain, and the first row of double crochets. And you'll see here we have almost this little braided twist, a little twist going on here. Where this one, we have our V shape that, if you remember from our foundation chain, that we have the V shape, and on the other side we have the little bump shape. My preferred method is one that will give us this V shape here on the bottom. Now, this is a couple reasons. It matches the edge that we finish with. You'll see they're both the same. So it looks aesthetically pleasing that these match. But also, say we were doing a blanket, a garment, something where we were going to have to do some seaming. When we line these edges up to seam together, you can see that we have these beautiful V's that line up next to each other. Here, if we go to seam these together, we have V's on one side, and then we have kind of this different bumpy shape, and it can make it a little challenging to figure out where we're stitching together. And there's a lot of seaming techniques that will give a much cleaner edge if we do it this way. So let me show you how we can get that nice finished edge. So if you remember, when we cast on our chain, we have the V's on one side, we have the bumps on the other side. A lot of people, when they go to do their first row, will do this as a single crochet. So we would be going into this chain here. They would just go right in the front of that hook or of that chain, and in the front of the next chain. They would just go right in the middle of those chains. And you can see right away that this is giving us this little loop because we're working in this top loop of the chain. So this bottom loop is left for that bottom edge, and that is what gives you this edge right here. Let me pull that out. Instead, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to work into the little back bumps. So for the single crochet, we're gonna skip the loop next to the hook, and we're gonna work on the second one. And you'll see that we have this little bump. We're going to insert our hook right into there, and we'll work our single crochet. Then we'll go to the next little bump. We'll work our stitch. See the bumps? We'll go into the next one. Work that. And now you can see the difference. We have that V on the bottom is starting to take shape. So let me finish this row and we'll take a look. So again, you're working into the back bump, not the front of the V, but the little bump on the back. Little bump, go in, do whatever stitch is called for, and you'll see even on our very first slip knot one, we still have a little bump right there. Okay, now this is the top, the row that we just did. This is the foundation row, and you can see that they perfectly match with a nice little V versus getting this loop, and you can see that's the loop and the bump versus getting the nice V's.